All right. I'll start with Sam. He came out of the game. Obviously, kind of had a knee. His ribs were kind of bruised up after the game, but everything turned out to be okay. There was just a little concern the way he was kind of limping around at the end. We just wanted to make sure that he was all right. The ribs kind of came up as well. Farley, obviously, he didn't return. He's got a rib issue right now. Right now, it looks like he will not be available for us on Wednesday. We'll see how the week goes. Arthur had a calf strain, so as of right now, he's going to be week to week. He'll be out Wednesday. We're going to kind of see how that progresses. They said it's a different kind of calf strain, so the time frame might be shorter than kind of what Darryl Roberts had. McClendon, he's kind of banged up all over the place. He'll probably be out on Wednesday, but we'll kind of see as the week goes if he can improve. Brian Poole is in the concussion protocol. I guess he came in this morning, kind of had some symptoms, so he's in the concussion protocol now. And then Jamal Adams has an ankle sprain right now. We're trying to still do kind of the MRI, all that kind of stuff, and we'll kind of see where that lands us. Right now, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to practice on Wednesday, but we'll kind of take that day to day. And then with that, whatever you guys got.
Manish from the Daily News, your line is active.
Adam, when you watch the tape, and I know we asked you about this yesterday, but just looking back on the early success you guys had on the ground, specifically in the first half, almost 5 yards a carry. Looking back, do you wish that you would have leaned on the run before halftime? And then secondly, what's your trust level that Le'Veon Bell can still be a dominant player in this league?
Yeah, I mean, before the half, we had the ball with 1:46 left. I mean, really, we did what we wanted to do. We got down there, we scored points. It turned out to be, I think we had 10 or 11 passes in a row, but that's going to happen in a 2-minute drive. To start the second half or the third quarter, I mean, called basically 4 runs, 5 passes. One of them was called back. We only had 9 plays, and counting the one that was a penalty in the third quarter. By the time we got the ball back in the fourth quarter, it's 22-6. Kind of went in pass mode there. We just didn't have the success on those couple early runs we had in the third quarter, and we ended up going 3 and out. So, I mean, if we have more plays, there's more runs. If we're not behind 22-6, there's more runs. That's kind of how the game went. We just got to, for us, it's always about just doing what's best for that game and the situation we're in. And I mean, really, sometimes, Le'Veon's doing everything he can to just try to keep us in manageable situations on third down. I thought that third down run was a good example of if we can get him to that second level, what it could look like. We just haven't done that enough. Hopefully we can, in these last games, we can pop him free and get him to that second level.
JP from Forbes, your line is active.
Adam, another Le'Veon question, but maybe from somewhat of a different angle. I know he obviously has a style that he uses that's worked for him for a long time, but is it possible that maybe he needs to maybe alter his hesitation a little, just because maybe the holes aren't staying open as long as as you folks would like? Does he maybe have to hit the hole a little faster, do you think?
I think he actually has. He's kind of changed a little bit in certain runs. He's changed kind of his style, hit it more downhill. I feel like especially the last 4 or 5 games, he's really done a good job of trying to make sure that we're staying ahead of the sticks. And for 3 games we did. This last game, we had a few runs where we did, and then, as we hit the second half, there was just nothing there for him to really work with except for 1 run that got called back. But for the most part, I feel like he has adjusted his running style to really benefit us, to try to keep us ahead of the sticks. I do feel like that's why we've had some success over the last 4 games. Yesterday just wasn't really ideal for kind of what we wanted to be able to do. We didn't do a very good job with the run game, and we got behind, and next thing you know, we're throwing it all the time.
Connor from The Athletic, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, just kind of going back to Jamal a little bit. He obviously seemed to be in some legitimate pain. I know you said ankle sprain, but is that more of the high ankle variety? Is it something where it could be week to week no matter what the MRI says? I mean, where is your concern level with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a legit, like, week to week. I'm waiting on the whole, the exacts, the details of what the injury is. I mean, I'm going to lean on him a lot, too, as far as how he feels. I mean, this is, we want to make sure that he's good to go before we put him back out there. I just want to make sure that he's in the right place physically so he can go play his style of ball, which is, basically, he's the heartbeat of our defense. And, we need him to be able to go full throttle, and, he's got to feel right for him to get back out there.
If you have a question for Coach, please press *3. Please press *3. Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Adam, compared to what you thought you were going to get in terms of production, with when Le'Veon came in, where is this? How different is this from what you envisioned, and where do you feel like it's gone wrong? And how surprising is it that you've got a guy that hasn't even broken 70 yards yet in 12 games?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we thought we'd be more successful on offense and as a whole. I think when you lose your starting quarterback for 3 games, and we were leaning heavily on Le'Veon to try to get us basically almost the majority of the yards that we were getting through a game. I mean, teams were focusing on him and doing everything they could to take him away, and we were still trying to go to him and find ways to get him the ball. It's really, I don't think that's really on him. It's, that was just kind of the situation we were in. And, we've had some games where things have worked out well to where we've gotten him going. I think the Oakland game's a good example where, things were falling in the right spots for us to where, the coverage was right. He was getting the ball. He kind of got rolling a little bit. He popped a few runs. Really that's more of what I would love to be able to do. It just, not every game is the same. Not every team plays you the same. So, yesterday I thought those guys did a good job on defense as far as taking away some of the things that we were trying to do in the run game. I think they did a good job of getting tight on him in coverage, and the ball had to go somewhere else, or we didn't really get it off. I do think there were some opportunities for us that we missed. It just, when you have a game like yesterday, those last 3 are tough to kind of really lean back on and say, hey, that's what we wanted it to look like, because this last one was not what we wanted.
Matt from NJ Advanced Media, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, going back to Brian Poole, I know you said he's in the concussion protocol. Just on a human level, is it kind of concerning to see a guy obviously get checked out for a concussion during a game and then get put back in there and then show symptoms later on? I mean, from the outside looking in, it would kind of seem like a flaw in how the system works. And, then relating to Poole on a football level, he's been kind of your most consistent guy at quarterback so far this year. So what do you guys have to do to adjust if he's not able to go this coming week?
Yeah, it's hard though. It's hard for me to comment on the concussion deal. I just know that, once they tell me he's in a protocol, then, that's what it is. I mean, they got evaluation tools. I mean, that's why the NFL is so heavily involved in what goes on during a game, and they have, guys, independent guys checking them and all those type of things. So, I mean, that's hard for me to really say anything on. As far as, Brian, just his consistency, it's been nice to be able to have a guy that we've counted on since the beginning of the season. He's there down in and down out. I know he gives everything he has, both practice, meetings, game day. I mean, he's a pro's pro. I'm glad that he ended up here, and every time I see him playing a game, he makes some kind of play that you just realize you're glad he's here.
Manish from the Daily News, your line is active.
Adam, how challenging has it been for you as a play caller to feature a player like Le'Veon when you've had a stated preference in wanting to be unpredictable by spreading the ball around to 3, 4, 5 different guys?
I feel like that we've been able to do that in the majority of games, outside the ones that when Sam wasn't playing, that we've spread it out pretty good. I feel like he's fell into that with us pretty good. I mean, I don't think that's too different than what he was used to. I know they had a lot more success being able to run the football and moving the sticks on third down. I think that us not doing well on third down in probably too many games has limited the amount of plays that we've had in the game, which would limit touches and how many catches all these guys have had. I think the games that we turn out that 65 to 75 plays a game, the balance and how many touches everybody had, it seems to work out. We just need to do that more consistently.
The last question for Coach from Mark from the Post. Your line is active.
Yes, Adam. Could you just talk a little bit about what you want to see or hoping to see from Sam these last 4 games this season? What kind of where you want to see him take what he's done so far this season?
I think it's just the consistency on the ball security. I think he's done a good job of that the last few games. I thought yesterday, there was some opportunities for them to get the ball out, and he did a good job of securing it and making sure that at least we had possession of the ball. And sometimes punting's a lot better than turning it over, and I thought he did that on a couple of the sacks where the ball could have got kind of loose with the amount of guys that were hitting him, and he didn't let it happen. And I do think his ability to make plays with his feet, I think there's been times, and we've both talked about this, of when he's got a lane, sometimes it might be better just to take the 5 yards running instead of trying to make that incredible throw that he makes so many times, just to keep us ahead of the sticks, and instead of taking that chance that it could be an incompletion, now we're stuck, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. So I think outside of that, he's really improved in a lot of different areas. If we can make, one improvement really with him being able to just use his legs a little more and just be consistent with the ball security.